and you're more prone to be fat storing. And there's always a fine line. Either you're storing fat or you're burning fat.
Right.
And if you're teetering, like after that transformation, you were burning fat, clearly. Maybe it's my fault
Maybe
for
you don't want to hear from me.
No, I'm saying, maybe you're right. Maybe it's, I still have to keep that kind of, that thing going where like, no, dude, send it to me. Like, I still want to hold you accountable for it. And what's different from now in your life
Right.
than was back then? Like,
Right.
Nothing. With those 12 weeks, you're like, I'm blocking out. It was a priority.
Right.
And you were involved, and you wanted to win,
Right.
and you were engaged, and you were gung-ho, so you
Right.
dedicated your life around
Right.
that.
Right.
No. You need to get your ass in here every fucking day,
Right.
and make it a part of your routine, man.
You're
let's
right.
Let's get working.
Sure.
Enough fucking bullshit. If you really want to make it an interesting vlog, we can talk about Ed's journey, but I don't know if Ed wants to talk about it. I don't know what happens, actually. I think I was really hopeful and inspired by, other way, up and over.
Oh, and spin, right?
I was really hopeful, and keep that left one out, like 90. I was really hopeful that Ed was going to set Ed up for a string of months and a new routine of healthy habits. But I think I like the challenge component of it because it's aggressive and it's very structured and it's something to do every day. But there was a beginning and there was an end to the challenge. So after the challenge was over,
The transformation
challenge was over, the transformation program. After that 12-week point was over, old habits creeped in, of life events happened, and listen, shit happens, but you kind of get off path. But 12 weeks wasn't enough to establish healthy habits that are going to be sustaining. So there's something that keeps going on, and Ed's not alone. There's a lot of people that go through it. I'm one of them. I kind of fight my demons, and I use other different tactics to get around shit, and for whatever reason, I get through it. And I don't get too far off track, but for some reason, it's easy to get off track. So it got off track, and forget how much you were down when you first, what was it, close to 30?
Close to 30 from the transformation.
In 12 weeks.
And then I put on about 15, but I'm still, probably today I'll be about 8 pounds above that. So I'm about 7 down from when I went back. And you're right, life event happened. The one thing I'll take from it, and the one thing I could tell you that's for real, is it did reinforce, I knew how to get back on track. So as soon as I smacked myself in gear, and here I am still doing this, but it's for me, it's not about the workout, it's about following the diet. And when I get off balance with that, I'll either miss a meal and then I'll try to make up for the meal, and that's the worst thing for me, is trying to make up for what I missed. I'm better off just saying screw it and having less calories for the day, than at the end of the day saying, hey, I got 20 grams left, let's suck down the 20 grams.
I would agree. Maybe
So,
a protein shake or something to kind of
right.
just get something in your belly, but your own body can only break down and burn a certain amount of calories at a time. That's just
right.
simple stuff. So those bigger meals do throw you off, and you're more prone to be fat storing. And there's always a fine line. Either you're storing fat or you're burning fat.
Right.
And if you're teetering, like after that transformation, you were burning fat, clearly.
Oh yeah.
Crushing through it. So what happens is once you fill everything back up, you start gaining it again. And then you start storing it. And then it goes back the other way. Then unhealthy habits creep back in. And listen, it happens, but it's so frustrating. And I bust Ed's balls, and I have a great relationship with him, because I feel like we're in this together, and I always have hope, and I know that Ed has it in him, and I know that we all have it in us. But yeah, it's still a challenge for me, because I'm like, something didn't work. What can I do better? That challenge was set. I mean, I shouldn't say challenge anymore. That program was set up. Literally, like, Ed was sending me emails every week. He was writing down what he was grateful for. I don't know if you do that anymore. He was writing down what was. And maybe it's my fault
Maybe
for
you don't want to hear from me.
No, I'm saying maybe you're right. Maybe I still have to keep that kind of, that thing going where like, no, dude, send it to me. Like, I still want to hold you accountable for it. And that's something that it was like, okay, the challenge is over. Hopefully you got it now, but I need to know what's next for people, because it's happened. and you're not the only one.
Right.
So the biggest component, I don't want to think that it is, but maybe it is that accountability where I'm holding you accountable, and we have those meetings. I never. The reason why I never started personal training in the beginning, long story short, many years ago, is because I thought that once I trained somebody how to do something and gave it to them, it was just going to be like they'll be on stage in 3 years because they mastered their body, because it's right here, dude. Like, this is the blueprint. Take it.
Yeah.
But there's a missing component in there, that the application in the practical phase that still doesn't always fit nicely.
But I think when it comes to that is and you're right, and I've even told it to you, you don't need a magic pill because the blueprint works, right?
Right.
I mean, every time
What'd you say? You don't need a pill, you need a plan.
Right. And so whenever I am doing the plan, this works.
Right.
Bottom line is it works, and it works very well. So that part is easy when you're in the flow. The problem is those times where you step off. It's like, I don't want to say it's like being an alcoholic, but if you're either on the way, right, you're either doing it, or you're not doing it. And if you're not at a stage where you like to talk about the end stage being where your body is so burning that you can actually eat more calories and more this and that because you become this furnace. And I obviously have not reached that spot. And so what happens is I may go this way a little bit, fall off the wagon a little bit, but then I get away with it for a couple days.
Right,
I may even lose another quarter of a pound over those 2 days, but hell, maybe I found something. And then all of a sudden, day 3 will come by, and not only not lose the quarter pound anymore, but I gain 2 pounds. And I go, how the hell did that happen?
The transformation program, or the program that we were rolling out with, was more like the program you did when you were in high school, in college.
Yeah.
And it was something daily.
Because I was doing something every day.
Every single day.
And even when I didn't have a workout, I was at least, and I've been trying to do that now, I'll like at least do half an hour on a stationary bike. It may be an off day, but we equal active rest, right? So I don't get sore from pedaling a stationary bicycle, but I do get some cardio in it.
Yeah, but it may not be enough.
Right.
So the twice with here, and now we're going to start doing yoga, which I really think is going to help overall with everything, and more of the mindset.
Right.
But get in here on those off days. Like, I know what's different from now in your life than was back then. Like, nothing. But with those 12 weeks, you're like, I'm blocking out. It was a priority.
Right.
And you were involved, and you wanted to win,
right.
and you were engaged, and you were gung-ho, so you dedicated your life around that.
Right.
And now it's like, all right, it's over. Now this comes up. Now you're more likely to
maybe I need a prize.
No. You need to get your ass in here every fucking day,
right?
And make it a part of your routine, man.
You're
Let's get working.
Sure.
Enough fucking bullshit. Come on, lunges.
Lunge.
Fuck.
Every other.
Sorry, man. Excuse my language, man.
I am now.
Yeah, your lightest you were how much?
252.
252. My goal for
and I had come down from 335.
Yeah, I do remember when you walked in. It looked like you swallowed yourself. He was like choking.
Well, I can bench 425.
Yeah. He looked like he was just this big, jolly, gorilla-looking guy. I got the original picture, man. You standing against the wall.
Yeah, I've seen it.
It's on the website.
It's on the website. Yeah.
It's still on your website.
Yeah, man.
And then you see me at 252 with my shoulders down. And I'm wearing the Ant t-shirt, I believe.
It's like a psychology thing. It's like, if that's what it takes, man, then we need to get back on I need to have some kind of extended program that allows me to be accessible and allows you to be accountable, or enables you to be accountable, whether it's the Voxer kind of thing I love, but I got away from that, or the, what?
How come?
Because that was like, we just set it up for the program, and it was like,
the
program's over, but there was no, the program I think was a great idea,
but
there was no what's next to the program.
Right.
For you, it was like, all right, I'll get back to training twice a week.
Right.
But all the other stuff that really made it successful, we didn't do. Lateral lunges, bro.